my friends, and welcome to episode 12 of Reinvent to Rise. My name is Pamela Alumala, and I am super excited to be here with you again. As always, Friday, something for us to wrap up with. If you are in United States, well, it's probably your daytime as it is for me. But if you are in England, it's probably evening time, maybe even closer to bedtime. Africa, Nigeria, wherever you might be, it might be evening time. But guess what? There is only one time that matters: your time. So, without further ado, I would love to talk today with you, my friends, about silencing your inner critic. Okay, sharing my screen. Well, you can't tell me if you see it or not, so I'm assuming that you actually do. Okay, so where were we? Okay, let's start. For some of us, we've talked about silencing the inner critique, or we may not have ever even thought about it. But the area, the aspect that I want us to talk about today is how to overcome imposter syndrome. Now, when I said critique earlier on, some of you might be wondering, was she saying critique? No, it's critic. My daughter always tells me that. But the reason I wanted to emphasize that is because there's a difference between critique and critic. Your inner critic. It's that voice that represents a challenge at your mind. So, what is imposter syndrome, you would ask? Imposter syndrome it can be a very, very persistent self-doubt despite evident success. Just the fact that you're successful in one area of your life, or successful with regards to a specific thing, a specific purpose, doesn't make you immune to imposter syndrome. Think about today, we have giants out there who ideally you would call them successful, but they step out and they say and do things that makes you go like, it can happen to anybody. The fear of being found out or exposed as a fraud is also an imposter syndrome. And does that mean that you are fraud? You're a fraud or not? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you actually feel that you do not deserve the space that you occupy. And imposter syndrome can be very, very common amongst high achievers, perfectionists, and even creatives. So that's one of the reasons why we're talking about that, my fellow brave achiever people. Well, signs that you might be struggling here are 5 of these things I've listed on the screen for you. First, attributing your success to luck or timing or anything else but the fact that you deserve it. Displaying the downplay of your accomplishments, or even doing it in private without displaying it publicly. knowing that you have accomplished something and still pulling it down. Fear of being exposed as not being good enough, despite and in spite of everything you're doing. Overworking just to prove yourself. Some of you might have been there, my friends, and some of you might still be going through that. Avoiding new challenges or visibility is also a possible sign that you might be struggling and you might have the voice of an imposter syndrome lurking in your mind. Root causes of imposter syndrome. Where does it come from? Cultural or societal expectations is one. Upbringing or early feedback. When I say upbringing, some of us were raised in environments and circumstances that provides a feeding ground for the imposter syndrome. Perfectionism or people-pleasing tendencies. Have you ever come across a people pleaser? I can smell it a mile away because there was a time in my life that all I wanted to do was make people happy. But not just happy, pleased with me. And that meant sometimes not quite saying what I should be saying. I'm talking about 20 years ago. And I learned that the only person who walks away displeased in a people pleasing environment is the people pleaser. And then another root cause could be comparison through social media. There is so much of that going on right now that if we do not actively protect our minds, people are going to get to that point where there is nothing you do that ever seems good enough, because all you have to do is flip your phone to the channel that shows you everybody else that's doing it better than you. So how do we beat this self-doubt and imposter syndrome? How do we handle it, especially when you're in the middle of trying to transition either a career or you're trying to reinvent yourself? How do you beat this? Because it's going to come. I'm hoping one day to bring one of a special guest as a treat to us on this channel. And this individual is going to be someone that when you hear their story, you will really, truly understand how powerful our mind is with regards to our destiny. So let's look at 4 quick ways that you can turn self-doubt into self-compassion. Self, that you, compassion to thou. Okay? You can reframe your thoughts and replace I can't with I am learning. Have you ever come across somebody like, I just can't do that? I just can't do that. I am sharing this with you because I am a solid bag full of testimonies and stories about 1,001 things I couldn't do, whether 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, that I am doing now, like a walk in the park. And then I would have said to you, it's not possible. I can't do it. And there are thousands and millions of people who are the same. But I'll tell you one thing I learned. I had to learn how to take that word I can't and shove it out of my dictionary and replace it with I'm learning. I'm learning. And for those of you that have children, you know what I'm talking about. You're learning patience a lot of the times, aren't you, during their growing and formative years? Another tool is track your wins. Are you tracking your wins? Does a confidence journal mean anything to you? We live in a world where everything is so computerized, every note we take is so digital that some of us have forgotten what it means to take a pen and write. And it's okay. If you don't have a pen and paper, if you use an iPhone, you have your notes in it. If you don't use an iPhone, whatever phone you use, I bet you there is a tool on there that you can write notes with. Track your wins. Planning to wake up every day at 6 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. and you wake up tomorrow at 6 a.m. or you wake up at 6:15, that is a win because you've been waking up at 8 p.m. every day. Now you are able to track that win. Track it because you will release sensations to your brain, body, and mind that will help you continue the journey. Talk about it. I know for those of you out there who are very, very religious or spiritual, you might be wondering, but why do I have to tell people? I'm not talking about sharing with the whole world. I am talking about find a trusted friend, find a mentor, find a small group. Do not journey it alone. Celebrate success, not celebrate progress, not perfection. There used to be a time when if it wasn't done to the quality I wanted things, I struggled with celebrating until I realized that you have to not just trust the process, but you have to celebrate the process as well. And ever since then, I have found myself in more and more situations where just celebrating a little progress makes a whole difference in how my mind resets itself, in how my body responds to the situation. What about you? Well, Michelle Obama went from doubt to global confidence. I wanted to share her story because in a memoir, Becoming, she recounts doubting her place in Princeton and later in the White House. Yet she learned to acknowledge her fear and move forward anyway. That's one book you might want to grab. Again, for all the political minded people, this is not me endorsing a political party, but looking at material that actually is helpful and sharing it with our viewers. So, if you want to take a deeper step forward in the area of dealing with this, I want you to try 7-day confidence challenge just for yourself. A small start to a big change. Write 3 accomplishments you're proud of. Compliment yourself in the mirror. Share a small win with someone. Say no without guilt. Oh, this one used to be so hard for me many years ago. Saying no to people, just, yeah. I struggled with it for years. But now, yep, no. Oh, you wanted to know what I said? I said no. Would you like me to write it down? Here it is. No. Stand in front of the mirror and actually practice saying no. No, I won't do that. However, I can do X. No, thank you. No, I would rather not. No, please. No, and no. I tell ya, when you learn to say no, you learn to protect yourself. And that doesn't mean being a meanie either. For those of you that know me really well, you know I love, love, love to do what I can to support anybody to just be an individual that wants to be a blessing. But in order to remain a blessing, you need to learn how to protect your time and protect your mind. Reframe a negative thought. So let's see. I have been able to reframe quite a few negative thoughts over the years. There is one that I really had for a while there, and it was a thought that I never thought I could. It didn't even occur to me um, to reframe it. You know, and after a while, I just learned, oh no, I could reframe it, right? And so this is what it was. I used to say to myself that I find it hard to commit myself and say, I'm going to see you during the week because I got this crazy calendar. So I'm not going to commit myself. I'm not going to commit myself. I find it hard to commit myself. And I kept on saying that until when I realized, no, no, I can reframe that. I will be able to commit myself on the weekends a bit more if you give me time options. And no, I won't be able to meet with you on a Monday at 1 p.m. because most likely I will be in a meeting at that time. I'm really good with ensuring my commitments are seen through. See how I reframed that? Anyway, those were not the exact words I used, but you got the idea. Do something outside of your comfort zone. Do something outside your comfort zone. I don't care what it is, but let it be something that you don't normally do. You drink only 2 glasses of water a day, drink 8. Uh-huh. You don't go for walks? Wake up tomorrow morning, Saturday, and take a 10-15 minute walk. Breathe in the fresh air. Do something that's not within your comfort zone. You never cooked before? You don't know how to cook? You just convinced yourself of a negative thought. Guess what? Anybody can cook. Just get a pot, put a little bit of oil, get a pinch of salt, get an egg, crack it, put on it, sprinkle that, and flip it the other way. You got a fried egg. See, you can cook. I told you could cook, right? All right. And so reflect on your growth, regardless of what is going on. Always reflect on your growth. But my friends, I want you to remember this more than anything we have spoken about this afternoon. You belong and you are enough. You are so enough, my friend. And if you don't believe it, put this video on autoplay and listen to it until you understand what I am saying. You are enough. I don't care what color of skin you have. I don't care what challenge you're going through in life. You are enough. Everyone feels doubt, but it doesn't define your worth. Some of the most fearful people on earth can also be some of the boldest. Do you know that? There's some people that the moment they feel fear, they come right at it. But that's not what I'm even saying you should do today. But what I'm saying is never think that you are not enough. If somebody tries to convince you that way, otherwise, then right now it's not their voice you need in your life. To be honest, you're not alone in this. That's why you have Reinvent to Rise. We are unjudgmental community of friends who just want to support you in your reinvention journey. Connect with us. Don't just watch and slide like some of you have been doing without subscribing to this channel. And apart from that, remember that your presence, your voice, and your talent matters. All you need is people that believe in you enough to pull you up because they were pulled up themselves. And last but not the least, I would love to share our resources for today with you. Take a look at Gifts of Imperfection by Brainy Brown. It's a best-selling book that invites readers to embrace vulnerability. Think about it. It might be something that you will enjoy listening to. And yeah, that's a book, by the way. So you could listen to it on Audible, or you could buy a copy. Now, TEDx Talks by Dr. Valerie Young, Thinking Your Way Out of Impostor Syndrome, is something you really want to watch. And I would love to hear your comments down below after you watch it. Link will be in the thread. Next steps. Yes, I know. That's how fast our time goes every Friday. It's fast when you're having fun. Oh, join our tribe. I know. It's just a group of people that come together to support each other, and we do it in different ways, right? We do live 90-day challenges, which we have one going on right now. We're on day 47. It's not too late for you to join. Or you can start your challenge by just following us on YouTube. And whenever you see us go live with the 90 days challenge, join. But above that, I want you to consider joining the Reinvent to Rise community, because that is where we gather and we give ourselves the support that we need. There you can sign up for a 30-minute session. And this is not a judgmental session. We are not doctors or anything. We are people that have lived somewhat a length of life and have learned across the journey that doing life alone is not the option. And loving on those who don't want judgment, who don't need judgment, but need support, is a key mission in our heart. And so, without further ado, I wish you a very wonderful and fantastic Friday. And I'll see you next time. And with that, it's goodbye from me.